We live, baby.
Oh my gosh. We finally did it. We finally did it. I'm not going to lie to you. I shit my pants right before we got here.
Like literally?
Oh, man. We talk about podcasts for so long, and, you know, it's one of those things where you don't think you're going to do it, and then here we are. It's just like, damn, it's crazy.
Because you got to go quick, too.
Yeah.
Real quick. I mean,
Yeah. No, this is like, fast pace. This is the 20-something podcast.
Yay.
I am the host, Trent. Snatch the Bandit on Xbox Live. To my left, Adrian Hernandez, the sound and the video guru. And to his left, Daniel Gibbons, Dan Demand 33. Shout out to
Sexy
old Xbox.
Pajama Man.
Shout out to old Xbox Live gamer tags. This podcast is not really sponsored by, but kind of sponsored by Taco Star for your late night food.
Los Carnales.
It's not Los Carnales. Okay?
Isn't that mean the brothers?
It had ties to a drug cartel, so that's why I say
Now
Taco
we have to
Star.
start over. You just outed Los Carnales.
Damn it! Yeah, you're right.
Oh, that's awesome.
Taco Star, yeah, they're not sponsoring us, but it'd be cool if they ever did.
We'll take
We're
it.
here.
We'll take it. Yeah. Kind of just going over the show today. We will be discussing a wide range of topics, from sports to black holes. You know, that's only two
Not
topics.
to be included in the same segment, but unless you're talking about the Ottawa Senators, in which case you could probably come up with a black hole comparison.
Yeah, there you go. Speaking about we're going to talk NHL.
Yes.
That's Adrian's
Good
expertise.
luck. Good luck having a show where we don't talk about hockey.
Dan and I will just kind of be here to be like, yeah, for sure, hockey.
No, I'm disagreeing with everything Ado is ever going to say. That's my plan.
Yeah, watch those guys do
Devil's
hockey.
advocate.
Yeah, I like it.
Here.
I like it.
That's fine. That's what I'm going to be with wrestling. Is that wrestling? Or
Wrestling, dude.
Dan's going to be talking fellow Michigan alum, that gal who discovered the black hole. Not discovered it, but took a picture of it. It was incredible. Just incredible. I didn't get accepted to Michigan, but
She was one of many.
One of many.
Yeah.
But she was a big part of a huge team, but we'll get into that later.
there.
And then I'm going to be talking about two of the most phenomenal NBA basketball players who recently came to retirement, and my predictions for the first round of the playoffs, which start today or yesterday if you're listening to this when it comes out. So let's get right into it.
Yeah, I mean, I think you'll swiftly learn that I fucking hate basketball.
Yeah.
So when we start to talk about basketball, you can
You played, though. You did play. Remember that one time?
for about a couple minutes.
Hey, you almost got fouled out for... When we had the ball, I was driving it. All
This
alone.
is a hilarious story.
All alone. There's one. I saw the hoop. No one was behind me. All of a sudden, they blow the whistle before I make the shot. I turn around. Ado had body checked the
I
guy
blocked
behind
someone.
me. Behind me.
It was like it was a fast break, and I
So
thought
you guys
I
weren't
was
playing
walking.
basketball.
We weren't playing basketball.
No.
But
We should have been. I would have been a lot better at that.
I don't know. It's just I understand your dislike for basketball. It's okay. I don't know too much about hockey, but I'm going to try to chime in as much as I can.
Cool.
And I will listen thoroughly and try to ask smart
If
questions.
you ask smart questions, I'm gonna be pissed. Because if you ask smart questions, then
What do you think the over-under, you know? I am going to be placing bets tonight for those NHL games.
There you
So,
go.
yeah.
Let me know. Shoot me a
Yeah.
message.
I think I'm doing all underdogs.
That's how you got to do
Yeah,
it.
all
Dude, I'm
underdogs.
telling you that the key is 10-cent bets. Just do like 20 of them. That way, if you get them all right,
You're winning.
It's like
$1,500.
penny stuff. Oh my god! So one of the things we're gonna do on the show, by the way, is we're gonna do what's called our 20-something MVP, and we're gonna spend each of our segments trying to convince the others of why our candidate should be the overall MVP of the show. I'm gonna make things real easy for you because Gabriel Landeskog is gonna be my nomination, and he's not only
gonna lose.
Whoa!
Dude, this is pretty
Oh,
legit.
this is gonna be intense. I can already feel it.
As soon as he told me who he was doing, I was just like, scrap everything. Scrap everything.
Well, it's just, he's a beautiful man, and I don't have any qualms with saying that out
And
loud.
he's smart,
Yeah.
quote unquote.
Quote.
My nomination is going to be Max Bless Holloway, the current welterweight champ of the UFC.
Nice.
And he's going to fight tonight. So when you're listening to this, the fight already happened. So I'm really praying that he won. That's going to be great. The dude's 27. He's a stud. I'll
Are
get
you
into
gonna
it. There's no money to win on the UFC tonight. I kind of looked into that too, but
Oh. Looks like we're going into the next segment, boys. All right.
Do it! Come on, kill me! I'm
So,
Come on! Do it now! Kill me!
gotta love it, baby. Little Arnold Schwarzenegger. So we're gonna talk some NHL playoff predictions. I think if you want to chime in on this, feel free back there. We got a guest star in the back. He will be unnamed. The mystery shall proceed.
Don't say anything back there, okay?
So let's talk playoffs. Let's talk hockey. My whole thing is we're 3 days deep into the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
The winningest team of the regular season, the Tampa Bay Lightning, are down 2-0 in their playoff series, losing both home games.
And right now, there's only one team that has tied up the series.
Yeah.
Everything is 2-0 or 1-0.
Yeah.
There's 1-1-1. We'll find out tonight, obviously.
Tampa Bay was my pick.
Yeah,
Get some switches.
You'll hear-
Tampa Bay was everybody's pick.
Yeah.
which is hilarious to me because, like, if the NCAA bracket was any indication of how predicting going off of who won in the regular season, it's not really a good indication.
Texas Tech and Virginia. Well, Virginia was consistently top 3, Texas Tech, but that's college
I
basketball.
don't want to talk about Virginia.
Yeah.
Hey, man, you want to talk about some basketball?
North Carolina?
North Carolina? No.
Sorry, man. Michigan lost by
Our
19.
unnamed guest is a North Carolina fan, and he's pretty sad right now. But yeah, the playoffs are kind of atypical. But that being said, they're always atypical. So is that atypical?
And
That's the best part about playoffs, though. I mean,
Yeah,
you
you never
can't
know.
predict what's going to happen. They're going to come in. They're going to play balls to the wall.
And literally with hockey, seeds mean nothing. Absolutely nothing. And I feel like that's been like years past. Like obviously I don't follow hockey as much as you. And I do tend to pay attention to it a little bit more in playoffs, I'll admit it. I'll try to pay attention.
just better hockey in
Yeah,
general.
better hockey.
fun to
The
watch.
matchups, you'll get the rivalries, the crowds are crazy. But this overall, the sport itself is just so fantastic to watch, live or on like TV, like television. It doesn't matter. But I was glued to my TV the last 2 days for these playoffs. I'm not gonna lie.
As well you should be, because playoff hockey, there's... When I die and I go to heaven, I'm going to be... Well, I will die, but it comes on the heaven part. But if I die and go to heaven, there will be only playoff hockey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it.
I don't know if that
And
makes
then
any sense, but that's
this
how
is
I feel about
this
it.
is on the subject of hockey, but the national championship is on tonight as well.
Yeah, man,
UMass
that's
and
incredibly
Minnesota
almost
Duluth.
Yeah, and you know, as a...
Future Av star.
Exactly, as an Avs...
Makar,
Freak.
right? That's how you pronounce it.
Cale Makar, yeah.
Makar. All
He's
right.
rosy-cheeked little fucking... Is he 20 years old? Rosy-ass cheeks. Ready to just come into the playoffs. He'll probably... Well,
That's what I was just going to ask.
We'll see.
It's so.
because, you know, you don't want to rush the kid into something that he's not ready for. But at the same time, if he just won a national... Can you imagine the story of winning a national championship and ask the Los Angeles Kings, you can go from the lowest seed to winning a Stanley Cup.
absolutely.
Imagine winning a national championship in the NCAA and then winning a Stanley Cup
That'd be insane.
in a month,
Dude.
2 months.
His Twitter following would just jump
It's the, like-
tremendously.
He'll be like 3 months into his...
He's playing the
Hockey.
most intense hockey too.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I think so.
Do you retire?
Hang his jersey in the
Yeah.
rafters after 3 months of work.
Sweet, baby. Let's go. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's go down the list of each matchup and let's all make our predictions.
You got it.
So we'll start with the famed Flames and Avalanche, and obviously the Avs are already down 1-0 in the series that they're being shut
Avs
out.
in 5.
You take Avs in 5. Ooh, drastic turnaround, yeah?
So they're winning tonight.
Straight
and then,
sweep.
Okay,
4 in a row. Just knock it out.
What do you
Okay.
think, Daniel?
I'm thinking
That is Trent.
that is my name's Trent.
What did I call you, Daniel? What are you thinking, Trent?
I think the Avs in 6.
Oh,
I think
see.
we'll win it in Colorado.
You guys know that if you don't pick the Avs, I'm going to beat the shit out of you.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Well, I just
or
don't
at
like-
least try.
I don't like Calgary. You know, it's
Yeah.
just the Flames. I mean, I've never been to the fine country of
I got the Avs in 5 as well, so they have to win 4
4 in a row,
by that
huh?
logic.
4 in a row.
Okay, I like it.
I mean, it was a close one the other
last
night.
night after our show, I had a guy come up to me. He was wearing a jersey, and he handed me a sticker. He said, "I saw you a couple weeks playing, and you had a jersey on so I brought this just for you. And I looked at it, and all I could see was the Flames logo. So I was like, fuck you, dude. Like, what's your problem? And then I looked closer, and he was like, no, look at it. And then it literally says, fuck Calgary. I'm like, there's literally been one game, and this dude has already gone out and had custom fuck Calgary stickers made. Like, that's hockey right
That's
there.
pretty good. That's pretty good.
So,
And let's just talk about their name real quick. I mean, the Flames. How boring is that
that's
name?
pretty
And it doesn't make any sense.
We're the Flames.
On
We're-
ice.
We're in Canada where there's snow all the time and we love fire.
yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Their crowd is pretty crazy, though. The sea of red. All of them wearing jerseys
Yeah,
except that one old
Saddle
guy.
Dome is popping.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about the Sharks and the Knights.
What's
What's this?
that's
It's
1-1.
It's
Yeah,
the only
1-1.
series right now. It's
Yeah,
1-1.
Vegas won last night.
That's right. I've had the Vegas Knights in 6, and just because they have Marc-Andre Fleury, he's a generational goalie, and it's hard to pick against a guy like that. Not to mention the Sharks up until their first game of the playoffs, where they looked pretty damn good, and Mr. Pavelski took one off the face.
Yeah.
They were struggling coming out of the regular season, so were the Knights. But anytime there's a good goalie on the ice, to me that's kind of the deal breaker.
That's what
Especially in
sets
a
teams
close
apart.
matchup. Yeah, in a close matchup like this, probably a pretty defensive matchup. You're going to see the goaltenders make their...
Well, the best part is
their
you say
money.
defensive matchup. First 2 games scored. Sharks 5-2.
I know.
Second game, Golden Knights 5.
It just
Sharks
goes to
2.
show you the way hockey's changed. the way it's played is different, because the playoffs used to not be like that at all. It was 2-1, in fucking triple overtime.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like that's how and it was just especially in the clutch and grab era when the Avalanche really thrived, when Peter Forsberg was the king of the clutch and grab era. So just the game has changed into a more scoring game. But I think if you watch, oh shit, we didn't even get close.
Let's just keep
That's
going.
alright though. Real quick, Predators Stars. Who you got, Daniel?
Predators.
Dallas in 6.
Nice. I got Jets. No, I got Blues and Jets.
I think I went Blues there.
I got Stars.
Jets in 7.
Lightning and Blue Jackets.
Lightning's coming back 4-2.
Damn.
4 straight 4 in a row.
They're going to win 4 in a row. Columbus did the same thing last year.
I was about to say that's exactly what happened to them. We can just keep talking about this because it's my topic anyway. And
Yeah,
we're talking
yeah,
Avs
yeah.
West.
Dude, just go
Done.
for it. Yeah, go for it.
So we'll talk. Let's backtrack a little bit then. Let's go back to the Predators and the Stars. So you said Stars in
6. I said Stars in 6.
It's 2-0 in that one right now. Stars.
1-0.
1-0.
Yeah,
Stars.
they play tonight.
Oh, they play tonight. That's right.
Yeah. I'm just never ever going to cheer for Dallas in any professional sport.
It's fair.
I hear that.
It's fair enough.
The Stars play they have the former DU coach is their head coach now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he implores a very defensive style of hockey. And anytime you play that type of game, you have a goaltender like Ben Bishop. If he can stay healthy, you can expect that they will either lull you to sleep and beat you 2-0, or they're gonna explode. Because they have Tyler Seguin, Radulov, that they're just stacked offensively when they want to be. They've had a tough time scoring this year, but it's one of those teams that they come in droves when they do happen.
I mean, the old adage applies to every sport, right? Defense wins championships.
Yeah,
totally.
You can set up the defense. You create opportunities to score.
Well, and look at the past years. The teams that make it to the finals are usually not totally defensively oriented, but it is it's a strength of theirs.
Mm-hmm.
The Capitals were a strong defensive team last year. Vegas last year was incredibly
Stingy.
Yeah, they just played really good
Yeah.
positionally. They were always in the lanes, and it was like you couldn't get a shot on that. last
I
year.
chose to go with Dallas because I just have an out for Nashville since they knocked us out of the
Yeah,
playoffs
fuck
last
Nashville.
year. And as a side note, when I played NHL 97 on the PlayStation, my favorite team was the Dallas Stars for some
Gotcha.
reason. Don't ask me why. But
Okay.
speaking of this is kind of side note. You said the DU's old coach is Dallas.
Yes.
How about that coach that DU has now, 29?
Yeah.
He's the youngest coach.
Isn't he a
in the game.
ginger?
Yeah.
He's a
Absolutely.
ginger too. So
Dude,
ginger
I almost
crack.
have nominated him for my 20
Yeah,
something.
that's a good
29.
one. 29 years
Frozen
old.
4. First
Yeah.
season. That's crazy.
You know, that game was a doozy, that game against UMass.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they score the first goal and UMass puts 3 on them in like the first period, and I was like,
Yeah.
I turned it off. And then in intermission between second and third period of the Avalanche game, on Twitter, it's like overtime hockey.
Yeah.
It's
We
like,
were at Old Chicago, so we were fortunate enough that both games were.
Oh, there you go.
at the same
What did
time.
the final end up being?
I think it was 4-3 in overtime.
Overtime, UMass. Yeah, UMass won in overtime, and that goal was just a scramble. But didn't want to get off topic. But
No, that's
the
fine.
29-year-old freaking coach going to the Frozen Four first season.
We're
It's
technically
incredible.
talking about Avs playoff hopes. So,
Yeah.
so as you go down the UMass path, let's talk more about Cale Makar. We dropped in a little bit on it earlier, but
Del Geyso fake. McCart, one-timer, score! No weak sauce on that one-timer. Clap City, USA.
we dropped in a little bit on it earlier. But he basically just won what is considered the Heisman of hockey.
Okay.
As a defenseman, that's pretty cool. This was kind of the year of defensemen, though, in college hockey. The thing about Cale Makar that's so intriguing to me is he's been getting likened to Erik Karlsson, who, as we all learned last night, I think it was last night or the night before, no, when they had their first game, that dude he's playing hurt and he's just dishing them right now.
Yeah.
So that likeness, I mean, those are some lofty goals, big shoes to kind of.
He just
fall
looked like
into, but
he looked like a guy or a man out there, skating with those little kids. Like, and nothing against them, but it's like,
he's truly dominated.
yeah, he glides out there.
Yeah.
He's a swan of
He's one of those. You watch
Like-
him skate and you're just like, how the hell are you moving like fast?
from one end to the other. It's just like
Dude,
okay.
Hockey players are scary, man. I mean, you got these humongous beings that just they're literally on ice,
Yeah,
which most people are afraid of as it is. And
small blades on their
they're
feet.
literally they're on blades. They're on blades.
It's literally like someone told me this the other day, and I was like, yeah, I never really thought of it that way, but totally. Imagine if you played football on a basketball court.
No.
That's hockey.
Yeah. And I mean, those guys they lose teeth. Oh yeah, it's normal. It's a normal day in hockey.
Yeah.
These guys
Take a
come
puck
off,
to the face.
They take a puck to the face. They'll get stitched, and they're back in.
Yeah.
Like, it is phenomenal. These guys are true warriors
Yeah.
out there.
So let's talk about the Jets and the Blues real quick. Who do you guys got in that one?
Jets in 7. They're gonna make a comeback.
Wow.
Jets in 7. I have them in my Western Conference Finals.
Oh, so you have to.
I have to. I can't. I
begging
can't.
that they
Yeah.
do that.
And I just don't like St. Louis.
Jordan Bennington, though, man. Holy shit. The goalie for St. Louis. Going into the season, St. Louis, they were like totally questioning who their goaltender was going to be at all. And you bring Bennington up late in the year, and he just, on his head, a lot of people consider, saying he should maybe be up for the Calder Trophy, or not the Calder Trophy, the Rookie of the Year. I can't remember what it's called, but but they say his body of work isn't long enough because he hasn't played. But I'm saying
So they were basing a season-long award off of his body of work from being a rookie.
yeah, and because he'd only been called up. That's what I said. It's like it's not like the dude can be
Yeah.
like, call me up now because I want a whole year. No, like he gets called up when he gets called up. He did, and when he got called up, he just has been absolutely crushing it. So that's the kind of
Isn't the Jets fairly like a fairly new team to the NHL, or no? Did they just relocate?
they used to be. Yeah, they were formerly the Thrashers, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. All right.
Which is from Atlanta. What the fuck was that all about? Right?
Yeah.
Let's put hockey in Atlanta.
Well, it's the same argument for why they have. I mean, Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
They
Well,
have
Tampa-
one of the best hockey teams in the league, and they
Well,
just
you can have any type of organization in Tampa because of the tax laws.
oh,
You know what I mean? Like so many sports players everywhere want to go play in
They
Florida.
want to play in Florida.
Because of
Yeah.
the tax laws.
Absolutely.
So that's like, as funny as it is, that's probably a huge reason why they still have a bunch of sports there, despite
Well, like
not very much success.
MLB, Florida Marlins went to the Miami Marlins, so they just stayed there. Like, no, we don't want to leave. I'm like, nah,
We're just changing. Miami's just hotter.
We're just going to go 20 minutes down the I-9. We'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
But okay, who we got next?
So let's talk about Lightning and Blue Jackets. First thing I gotta say, fuck Matt Duchene. Continue.
He had a 5-point game yesterday.
Yeah, he can suck a fat dick. Here's the thing about Matt Duchene. He's a proven skill guy. Like you can't argue
Phenomenal
that he's
player.
good.
Yeah.
But you also can't argue that he's not. Like, if I'm going into a dark alley, I'm nervous if I'm with him. Because if we get in a fight, with someone, or say we're outgunned, and he has the chance to run and leave me to take it, he's gonna. And that's not my type of people. I think Eric Johnson said it best when he said, I only want to play with people that want to play with me.
Yeah. Would he be considered like a greedy player? Did he move on from the Avalanche to make more money, or did he just simply stay like, we're not winning here?
He was a cancer in the locker room.
He's requested a trade.
And he wanted out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, his logic, which is fucking hilarious, his logic was that he wanted to play for a team that was contending. Mm-hmm. So he asked for a trade to Ottawa.
Worked out great for us, huh?
And he immediately sent them into
relegation.
Into the same situation the Avs were. Which
he was in that video, right, where he was trashing his coach in Ottawa. Like 2 months after he'd been traded. It wasn't even that long after, and he was already caught on video in an Uber, like, trashing his new coach.
What a guy.
Like, dude.
Yeah, he literally says...
They traded you.
He literally says, yeah, man, whenever he starts talking in the meetings, I just don't listen. I just stop paying attention. I'm like, dude, what? This is a grown-ass man. Like, are you 13 years old going to a football meeting?
Seriously?
Like, how do you think that way? And to finish my point, you're a proven skill guy, but you're not a proven teammate, and you're not a proven winner. When you win, now he's putting that into play right now with the Blue Jackets being up 2-0 over the dominant Tampa Bay Lightning, which is mind-blowing.
Yeah.
So I had Lightning in 4, so since that's completely fucked, Daniel, what do you got?
That initial game started off 3-0 the other day, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see the Lightning not being able to come back. I mean, it's going to be hard because they lost their first 2 games at home, but as a playoff team, I mean, you have to come out, you have to show up.
All right, real quick.
See if they can.
Bruins, Maple Leafs, Daniel.
Bruins.
All right.
Maple Leafs.
Maple Leafs, Trent.
They're named in Maple Leafs. Like, I can't take them seriously.
Capitals, Caps, Hurricanes.
Caps.
Islanders, Penguins.
Islanders, fuck the Penguins.
Yeah, fucking. That should be the new name of this podcast. Fuck the Penguins. All right, baby. Trent, what are we moving on to, bro?
We got topic number 2, generalizing generations.
So this is a little confusing because, I mean, it's kind of hard to put all in a quick topic named generalizing generations, but the main motivation behind this was, I mean, we're all 25, 26 years old. We're millennials. We're considered millennials.
Barely.
But, I mean, we're in it.
Yeah.
And it's just, you know, when you come out, and you don't realize this growing up, like people, how awful they can be. Mm-hmm. But the second you get out into the workplace or anything like that, like everybody just wants to take a crap on your generation. They like to just put you all in one big group. All you millennials are lazy. All of you, like the word entitled comes around so much. And, you know, there are some, probably a lot.
There are
kids that are our age.
In general.
There are kids that are our age that are lazy. They are entitled. But like Ado just said, in general, you're not going to find there's 30-year-olds that are there. There's 40-year-olds that are lazy and entitled. There's 50. Like, it just goes down. It's just people being people.
It's a human construct. Yeah.
Yeah. And
I'm really glad that this is our topic because it fits well into what we want to talk about here. And it's kind of just being of this generation, and we're just trying to offer a perspective, I guess. That's kind of how I see this. From the 20-something-year-olds as to how we see things. And yeah, I would agree. The taboo-ness of wanting and asking for something as a millennial is hilarious. Like, you go to a place. So when I first met my fiance's parents, I remember one of the most prevalent thoughts in my mind was like, don't seem like you're needy. Like, don't seem like act like a man. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that act like a man thing kind of falls in line with how millennials are irresponsible.
Yeah, I mean, you walk into any place and they see a bunch of kids, and what do you do? I mean, a bunch of 20-year-olds, and you get side-eyed just walking into like a restaurant or anything like that. And we're going to be the ones that are tipping 20%. We're going to be the ones that want to take care of people. Like, I have so many friends that have worked in the restaurant business, and they get told all the time, like, you know, oh, hey, I had $100 check for a table and I was tipped $2. And like me, as somebody, I've never tipped less than 15%.
20%.
Less than 15. Like
Yeah.
15%.
If you're a shitbird,
like, if
you're
you're
getting 15.
awful, you have to be an awful waiter or waitress to get 15% from me.
Wow. Yeah.
And other than that, I'm hitting over 20 all the time, especially like on a small check, because a lot of time you're there for a long time on a small check. You could be there
Yeah.
for a couple hours. You gotta make it
Especially
worth it. To them.
assholes like us who just go to a restaurant to get drunk. Going to order food.
I have never done that before.
Almost correct. No, never.
Yeah, I just think that the way people generalize us as a generation, and honestly, the way other generations are generalized.
I mean, it goes all the way around. Like you
Yeah.
can't say all baby boomers are the same. And what was the generation before us? Were they X?
X.
So they were Generation X.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is like, I was kind of talking to my dad about this. You have kids that are born, like my little sister is 14 years younger than me, and she's considered this new generation. But yeah, she's growing up with influences that are millennials and
Yeah.
influences that are, obviously my parents' age and things like that. So it's like that just takes away the whole point of trying to put together a whole batch of people.
Yeah.
It's infuriating in the work, especially in the workplace.
Especially
when
in
you
the
come in
workplace. Absolutely.
and they're just, oh, you millennials, you just want this and that. Hey, could you help me with this Excel spreadsheet? Oh yeah, yeah. Let me go over there and help you
fucking
copy
click.
paste.
Yeah.
Hey, why is my phone not searching for internet?
Yeah.
I don't know what I did.
So
What does this airplane mean? What does this mean?
These are stereotypes, and yes, they are true on occasion, but not always. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
And there's plenty that each generation agree on. Mm-hmm. It's not like we are like polar opposites in
yeah.
everything. Like there's plenty that go to any sporting event, go to any public gathering. There's going to be people of multiple generations, and that's a strong indication they're into the same sort of shit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't think what it is human behavior, and my least favorite part about the generalization that happens is it's kind of like a pompous thing, I think, from the older generation, where it's like, I remember being told, like when I was a kid, or just recently, that kids our age don't buy houses, and it's not because they can. It's not because they can't. It's because we don't work hard enough and we don't save enough money to buy ourselves a home. But when I was a kid, when my dad bought his first house, you know how much his house was?
Probably like $100,000.
It was $60,000. $60,000.
We grew up in this area where college is super important. Back when in the 80s and early 90s, if you went to college after you graduated high school, you were pretty much guaranteed success.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, there's not a lot of people that went to college that didn't get a big wig job, because back then it was a lot more rare. And then everybody started pushing it, and because of this, everything got like way more expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you
It's
got
a domino effect.
you guys
for sure.
you guys went out to CSUP over here, and so they're generally a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
And my schooling was over $100,000 over the course of 4 years, and so I get to pay for that
No.
for 10 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And that's just
It's like
something
you want me
that
to fucking buy. I saw an article.
Yeah.
They said millennials can't buy a home because they eat too much avocado toast.
Have you guys ever had avocado toast in your life?
I didn't know that was a thing.
I've eaten it at a restaurant, like a order
Yeah.
it, but I don't fucking go to the grocery store and buy me avocados and
Yeah.
bread just so I can fucking go home and make.
I know what I'm
avocado
eating
toast.
tomorrow.
Yeah,
I didn't
so-
even buy a toaster until I owned a house.
The reason we can't buy houses is because, one, we get paid less in terms of inflation. Like if wages were to inflate with the way costs have, the livable costs just to exist, sure, fuck, buy me a house. That's changed. Houses are more expensive. They're also not as, they're a fucking flight risk. Like, look what happened in 2008. Everyone's like buying houses, refinancing their houses, drop of a hat. They're fucked.
And market crashes, people lose their jobs, and now you're in debt $180,000 to a house.
So you
that
want me to buy a
is
house?
average.
Yeah? So
And
that's
I have a
that.
house, so I'm very happy.
Yeah, same here.
Obviously, so.
Successfully
Wow.
did that bullshit, but
I got a nice setup right now at my mom's house. I'm cool. I'm chilling.
there's nothing wrong with that though,
I don't know
man.
if you guys know this, but Trent's roommate is way cooler than my roommate.
Yeah, Trent's got a dope roommate.
I got a dope setup. I got a dog. I got a garage.
Yeah, it's fucking sick, dude. What are we talking about now?
Looks like we are going to be talking about the black hole. So, This is something a lot of people didn't know about, and it really surprised me. I mean,
I thought it was a joke. At
maybe
first.
it's just what it's what I follow on the internet and all that stuff. But we did process our very first images of a black hole. It was something that we never thought we were going to be able to see. Like the amount of just programming that went into getting these pictures processed is unreal. And there was a thing, an article. Albert Einstein, 1920s, 1940s he was the first one to come up with an equation that said this is what I think a black hole looks like. It wasn't proven at that point. We knew that there were like these anomalies throughout space, but we had no idea what they look like. And those pictures prove that it is indeed like a sphere.
Wow.
And I don't know if you guys have seen the pictures.
I have.
Right? And so you can see it refracting around the sphere. Like, some people are like, oh, was that fire? No. It's the fact that it is sucking in light. It is making all the light in that area disappear forever. Forever.
Right.
It's gone. Like it is whatever. Until eventually we somehow make our way into a black hole, we're never going to know where it goes. And so that refracting effect is, similar to the Doppler effect. If you hear a police car coming, it sounds real far and it zooms past you and it's loud, gone again. Same exact effect that light is going around that sphere.
So I have a question. This is maybe totally stupid, but like, if we were to physically go through a black hole, there would obviously be like we would stop existing, or is it like a portal?
See, that's what we don't know, and we're too far away right now. Because that black hole itself was 55 million light years away.
Jesus.
So just
wow.
That picture, technically, because we took it from the satellites that we are able to control,
is it like
is
a collection of
55
satellites?
million years old. Yeah, it was a team of I think I said 8 countries or 8 satellites, something like that. 800 people around the globe that were all collaborating in this effort just to get this picture, so we can prove that hey, we weren't crazy. This thing actually existed.
Wow. And I read that like they had telescopes all over the world, and because of that, you could basically equate the size of their telescope to the size of Earth. Mm-hmm. Like the Earth was like looking through an Earth-sized lens.
Yeah, and
that's crazy.
That's pretty bizarre.
It wasn't even that. It was they were saying, "Oh, we're going to try to get these first pictures of a black hole," and all of a sudden they were very quiet about it because everything had to go right just to get this picture. Like the sun had to line up correctly. These different stars had to be in the right spot. The clouds couldn't be out. So they've been trying to do this for years. So
Interstellar, like that's why I asked that.
I love that movie because it just makes you wonder if that's something that's true.
Is it a portal, or is it just going to crush you and you go to oblivion?
I don't know.
And
it's crazy. Like space
you'll disappear,
is insane.
and then you'll come to playoff hockey all the time.
Well, that's the thing that blew me about my mind about that Interstellar show is like how they used the black hole's gravity. If you're anywhere near a fucking black hole, you better have some sort of something that's propelling you with tremendous force to not go.
That's not even possible at this point. It's
like, what are you
insane.
flying around in? What's this thing? Yeah.
Can you imagine what's going through those 800 people? Like, just their minds. It's like, okay, if everything goes right today, we can do it. Like, we can do it.
Yeah.
And they're just like calculating, and then bam.
As amazing as it is, though, and I don't mean to downplay it because it's really cool, but the picture sucks.
Well, that was the funny part is,
an Android, dude.
Everybody was talking for like a week straight of, hey, this image is going to come out next week, and everybody was doing their computer awesome graphics modeling to show what they think it's going to look like. Oh, this is what it's possibly going to look like. We'll see in a week, though. We won't know. And so it came out, and it's like you said, it's a black hole, and there's a blur around it because it's a picture from 55 million light years away.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
And until they somehow get more images of that area to make it clearer, which we'll hopefully get in a couple of years. Yeah. At this point,
I'm just saying it would have been really cool to hear about it, and it would have been a lot cooler if, like, instead of that picture, I was looking at a set of hoo-hoos. Like that picture was a huge. Like I got the alert on my phone. It was like, scientists have captured.
And that poor picture, just got memed to oblivion.
This is the only one I saw with the picture. That's all I saw. So that's why I thought it was a joke. And then I get to work, they're like, "Oh, black hole." And I work with a bunch of old people. I was like, "What the fuck are you guys talking about? Black hole." We use my generation Twitter news for news. Okay. That's
my dad's so funny. My dad one day he calls me in and he's like, "Where do you get your news?" And I was like, don't really like get news. I just like I'm on Twitter and then I can see shit pop up, or I'm on Facebook and I see things pop up, or my friends. And he's like, "That's a terrible source. I can't believe you would ever do that." I'm like, "Dad, I just read Magic Johnson's own words that he retired from his spot on Twitter before he even told the executives, like, this is news. Yeah. This is cutting out the middleman."
It's real time.
Real time.
Like, just tell them that. I get my news real time.
Dude,
Like, I don't get an article a day later of whoever
that blows
does it.
That's what it was like. And that's what's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Without the internet or anything like that, like, we would have to wait like a day or two. Like, we're flipping through the newspaper, like, oh shit, it's not in this one. Like,
I would never make it because I go straight to the comments.
We would have never seen the most boring picture of a black hole. If
it would have looked even worse on the newspaper. Are you kidding me?
It would have, because you're right. That's very true. Not to mention, like, you would have like woken up with all kinds of ink on your face after falling asleep from trying to stare at that picture and make it cool.
I mean, like, so my nominee was Katie Bowman.
Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about my
however you say that.
University of Michigan alum.
She's at MIT. That's where she was able to develop a lot of this stuff. But I just want to point out one thing: she wasn't alone. Obviously, there was a whole collaboration of people. She's the face of it right now, and the reason she was the face is she is cute. She led the development of the algorithm that eventually led to this. I mean, she was talking about this 2 years ago. She did a TED talk about what needs to happen in order to get this picture and to see it come to fruition 2 years later. And she almost didn't make the cut for 20-something because she's 29. Mm-hmm. So
you
just the whole 20.
That picture of her,
you just
the
made
one with all like that data. Are those hard drives or like what are those?
They're literally just like they're hard drives of data that they had to extrapolate
all of that shit.
When I saw that,
for that image, that's crazy. People like don't appreciate how much went into that. I mean, as gamers and stuff like that, we're like, oh, a terabyte of data, that's a lot. I mean, this was like something like 20,000 terabytes.
That's a lot.
Don't quote me because I can't.
Do you think that was her?
Now,
that was her like doing a Donald Trump, like when he brought all of his tax returns and he just had like stacks of paper, just like, all right,
dude, I'd totally show off.
And I don't know if you guys ever.
Like, we just have to believe her. I don't fucking know. Like, there's got to be some
bullshit. Black boxes in front of you. Well, there was an old picture that came around a couple of years ago about a girl woman, I guess I should say, when they did the moon landing. She was one of the main people behind that, and she had stacks of books because obviously they didn't have all the computers. Like how we got to the moon back in however is amazing. Like,
we didn't, but yeah,
that's another time.
That's another time.
I would love to talk conspiracy theories.
Every American had $1 for how many times the moon landing has probably been talked about on a podcast. There would be no welfare.
Yeah, there'd be no welfare.
That'd be awesome.
That's a topic we will cover. I promise you, to stay in line with everyone else.
Just like every other podcast out there, we are unique.
No one else is named 20-something, so whatever.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. Immediately after we came up with a name, the first thing I did was Google 20-something. I was like, let me just make sure there's nothing out there.
Dude, that's just like...
There's like a couple of songs, but like other than that, we're in the clear.
That's how we are. Is like we were messing around as a band. Listeners, I'm in a band called Beyond Bridges, but we've been entertaining the idea of changing our name, mostly as a joke.
I was gonna say I don't like it.
We one of the ones that Kyle really likes is Daisy Chain. Okay. I told him that sucks because it does. I think he wants to be like Alice in Chains or Daisy Chain, something weird, but
Mouse Rat.
I was really glad that you liked 20-something because literally that was the first thing I could just think of. I don't know. I was just like, yeah, we're all in our mid-20s,
Names are tough, man.
20-something.
Just so you guys are wondering, this podcast is only going to last about 4 years. 30-something.
I thought marketing, future. Like, we're going to do marketing.
And then we'll be just talking just a ton of shit about 20.
As soon as we're 30, we just talk crap about us in our 20s.
Oh, here we go.
You ready, Trent?
From Romans, Illinois, 6'4" guard. My dad, Dwayne.
Thank you. about to make me cry before this game.
Basketball fans, professional basketball fans,
All 4 of you.
Especially Ado.
especially two gentlemen retired this week, and it was actually pretty sad.
If you can't appreciate Ado, then you could just leave.
All right.
Dwayne Wade and Dirk Nowitzki.
Dirk, I should have retired 3 years ago.
Yeah. It was crazy though. D Wade, man,
D-Wade, I should not retire for 3 more years.
he was something else. He was the reason why I wore number 3 in any sport. Really, it doesn't really matter. I wanted to buy his Converse All-Star custom shoes when I was in middle school, but we couldn't do it.
I was buying Stoudemire's.
Stoudemire, yeah. Starberries. Those were tight.
Oh my
Those
God,
were tight. Any
Starberries.
colors you ever wanted. But no, D Wade, 16 years, and he finished it up this past week. Just a hell of a player. He career average 22 points, 5 assists, and he was nearly a 50% field goal shooter.
Jesus.
It was like 48 points, and I'm rounding up
I'm
because
not
he
even a
deserves it.
50% field goal shooter on like a 6-foot net.
Dude, that's tough. Like, it's really tough to pull off. He won the NBA championship 3 times. Once in 2006, where he was the NBA Finals MVP, where he played Dirk. They went down 0-2. And he came back to win it, I think 4-2. He averaged 34 in that series. The guy was insane. He was a 13-time All-Star, 3-time NBA champion, like I said, 3-time All-Defense, which I really appreciate. Because
He's kind of like a silent assassin. I remember when he played the Nuggets. He was just like so frustrating to be rooting against.
Yeah.
Because he would just... He had the floater, baby.
Yep.
And it just would always go in. Every time it went up, you're like, no way. It's kind of like on that movie Major League where the guy's like, it's too high. It's like, what do you mean it's too high? It's a fucking home run. That's how I felt every time he took a shot. I'm like, no way that's fucking going in.
And just like you said, he was a silent assassin. Like, no one would really gas up his stats unless he had something overboard, like a 40, 50-point game. Whereas, like, now... It's like LeBron scores 27, and it's like, oh, LeBron scores 27 in a loss for so-and-so. It's like Dwayne Wade was consistently doing that. And, like, he's humbled as shit, Rarely talk shit. He had that one little instant when they played the Mavs, and he was talking shit about my boy Dirk.
Where did Dwayne Wade retire?
He retired in Miami. He started his career in Miami. Yeah, he started his career in Miami, went to Chicago, and then went to Cleveland for, like, a stint, and then went back to Miami.
Cleveland.
Yeah, they traded him back to Miami.
So I think out of his 16-year career, he probably spent like 14 or 13 at least in Miami.
So is it safe to say that he kind of took the opposite approach of LeBron?
Absolutely.
Well, the thing is, the whole LeBron thing, the fact that he went to Miami, Dwayne Wade was the reason he went there.
Yeah.
Those guys talked and were able to put that together because...
So I was going to put down that he was one of the reasons why they made super teams, but then I remember Boston. Boston did. The Boston Big Three was the reason why that all started.
People forget that.
And I was like so close. I was like, reason why? I think Big Three. And I was like, shit, no. It was Boston.
Yeah.
Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen.
Right.
So, but... when LeBron and Chris Bosh went to Miami, the series those two teams had were just incredible to watch. Absolutely incredible. They hated each other. Yeah. Absolutely hated each other. It's like big brother, little brother. Boston won one championship, and then they thought they were gonna, tough shit.
I like how we're all looking to Josh for
anonymous guest.
Anonymous guest. Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
give me the head nod. Yes. No. Okay.
He's like, yeah, you're like our stat, you're
sports guy.
Sports guy, right?
Sports guy. No, I mean, the reason why I wore number 3, the way they did it too, the way he did this whole last year was awesome. He was trading jerseys, swapping jerseys with one player from each team.
See that Budweiser commercial?
Oh my god,
dude!
I cried. I literally cried.
You know how hard I shouldn't have watched it at work. I acknowledge that. But I was like, everybody's like, you need to watch this commercial. And I was like, if I don't watch it now, I'm probably gonna forget later. And I was like, I regret watching it now.
Dan, you're right. It's allergies.
I just sneezed.
It's exactly my same story almost, but I'm sitting in the DSS office, Department of Social Security. I'm standing around like 30 people, and not to diss on those who are on benefit or welfare, but most of the time it doesn't smell all that well when you go in that place.
What were you doing there, huh?
Which is, I'm probably why, right? But I'm sitting there looking down at my phone, and I got drops of tears coming down. And the guy next to me is like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, the one that hit me the most on that was the kid who passed away in the shooting. Like,
Yeah, that was crazy.
I mean, I'd already seen that story because the kid, they literally buried him in his jersey.
Yep.
And I don't know if it was his high school jersey or his Dwayne Wade jersey.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he was the
Yeah, that's
reason,
really
just like you, Trent, like, he was the reason, Dwayne Wade was the reason that kid wore number 3. He
Yep.
was his hero. His parents acknowledged that.
Yep.
And, you know, they did
Fantastic commercial. Just
Yeah.
fantastic commercial. I went to school for advertising and stuff like that. Like one of my
Nailed
top 3 commercials of all
Nailed
time.
it, yeah.
Easily.
Well,
Easy.
The thing that got me, the part that got me was his mom.
Yep.
Because to me, you think about, I don't know, not to get too deep into topics I maybe don't understand, but as a African American who clearly came from maybe not a struggle. I don't know the situation enough, but obviously with his mom having gone to prison, that couldn't have been easy.
Right.
And it's just he's a good example of, you know, we have a song called "Do Your Part,"
Yep.
and it's like when terrible things happen to you, you can make a choice, and that's kind of what sets people. There's 2 types of people.
Mm-hmm.
There's people that choose to be better because of the things that happen to them, and there's people that choose to allow themselves to get worse as a result of what's
100%.
happened to them.
100%.
And Dwayne Wade is just a really awesome example of him choosing, you know what, instead of like succumbing to my circumstances, I'm going to rise above them.
Yep.
And that's something that is incredibly valuable in the height of
And his off the court, what he did off the court was unreal. Like, you don't hear about it on TV.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my favorite things is like, he didn't do it to brag. He didn't do it to say, hey, I did this. I donated my money. No, he just did it.
Well, even in
He
that
was a good
commercial,
person.
he's like, I have no idea what I'm doing to her right now.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Budweiser, like showcased everything to him. Like, hey, dude, this is what you did, you know. And you know, we know that you did it, but just hell of a person.
It's like, I never heard about any of that.
Yeah.
Well, it's cool too. Like if you think about it, it goes full circle with his mom, because then his mom, and talk about a weird thing. Like in life, you end up being the guardian or the guide that your own parent needed. Mm-hmm. Imagine being in those shoes.
Yeah.
Basically, he was her inspiration to make that choice to rise above her own circumstances.
Absolutely.
And that's like incredibly moving to think about, like a mom coming to terms with her own mistakes and then saying, you know what, I have a not only a reason to be better, but an example of how.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And it's my own kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's really a cool thing.
Yeah, we're gonna get all sappy here real quick, but no. So yeah, D Wade retired. He's gonna be a Hall of Famer probably within the next like 5-6 years.
Yeah, whenever he's eligible.
Yeah, whenever he's eligible, he's gonna. I don't know how they do in the NBA. Next person was Dirk Nowitzki. 20-year career, like Ado jokingly said, he probably could have retired three years ago.
Not to be a dick.
No, yeah. You know,
Not
14
that
times.
Not that Dirk's like going to be at home listening to 20-something podcasts. Sorry, Dirk, but you
If
probably
Dirk, you're out there,
retire.
you can talk to me, not Edo.
14-time All-Star, 12-time All-NBA. He was a 2006, 2007.
And where did he play and where did he retire?
Dallas, all the way through.
See, I keep asking that question because you said that, you know, the big three started in Boston after, you know, suggesting maybe it started in Miami. The difference, I think, was the way LeBron left and how so televised it was, and he did this whole
I mean,
take
he'd been
them on
televised
talent
since
to
the
South
second he was in
Beach.
high school.
Yeah.
And not only that, but I think, not to give him more credit than he deserves, but LeBron ruined sports in that moment for me, because I have a lot of respect for people who stick with what they have been given, despite what's going on in the current state.
I mean, it's not like if he was
Obviously,
traded
that's-
away, it'd be different.
Yeah, right,
He'd
right.
probably
I think it's
see
pretty
it a lot
obvious in my
different.
opinion of Matt Duchene. Like, I'm a ride or die type
Yeah,
of dude.
absolutely.
And LeBron to me is more of a, well, I could probably win more if I go do this with these guys, so let's do it. And then that whole thing to me is like, you could probably win more also if you just made your players around you better.
Yeah. Happens a lot in the NBA too. That's why it's kind of tough to watch the NBA nowadays. Yeah, I completely agree. I
lost
completely agree.
the NBA when that all started to happen, to be quite
and
honest.
you know, when Golden State first won that championship, everybody was like, "Oh, this is awesome!" Because I mean, they built that team, right?
All
And
good.
then they got KD,
Yeah.
and,
it's like,
and then
what?
everybody was pissed at them, and it was like, well, rightfully so, in my opinion.
I'll speed it up.
Dirk Nowitzki, Dwayne Wade, though.
MVP.
The step back arc shot.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
incredible. That's absolutely phenomenal. If you
The
guys don't know
step
what
back?
the step
Oh,
back
yeah.
arc, dude, he make you over the Eiffel Tower. That's beautiful. My quick prediction for the NBA first round, which starts tonight and into tomorrow. I'll start with the West. Golden State, I have them sweeping the Clippers. Nuggets, I have 4-1 over the Spurs. Thunder, 4-2 over the Trailblazers. Rockets, they're going to go to Game 7 with the Utah Jazz.
I have a prediction.
Okay.
I'm not going to watch.
Fair enough.
predict that I will not watch a single
Fair
NBA
enough.
playoff game.
In the East, Raptors are going to sweep the Magic. The 76ers are going to beat the Nets in 5. Celtics are going to beat the Pacers in 6. And the Bucks are going to beat the Pistons
What do you
in
think
4.
of that, Daniel?
Who do you have winning the entire thing?
Golden State. I don't want
Okay,
to.
if Golden State wasn't in it, because that's everybody's answer, what do you have?
That's
Playoffs.
tough.
You like Giannis? Or you like-
So no, because I mean Milwaukee's a young team for playoff sakes. If Golden State was not in the playoffs for some reason, I would probably say I would love to say the Nuggets. I would love to say Nuggets. I think they're totally eligible to do
Do
it.
you think the Nuggets have a shot?
No, they're going to make it to the Western Conference Finals. With
Here's
us
the
getting that
thing.
2 seed, it's phenomenal because we don't have to play.
And we have a great home record.
Yeah, great home record. We don't have to play the Golden State or Houston until the Western Conference Finals. All we have to do is just worry about the Thunder, and that's
Correct me
it.
if I'm wrong. The
One
NBA
round at a time.
One round at a time.
The
absolutely.
NBA does like the home court advantage differently than most. Yeah, like you win the first 2 and you get home court or some shit like that.
If you're the top 2 seeds, you get home court throughout the entire playoffs until you get to the Western Conference Finals. Similar layout as the NHL, though: 2 home, 2 away, 1-1-1.
Okay.
Uh,
So it just kind of depends on how game 1
So,
or
like,
2
I
goes.
think-
So if you win game 1 and you're away, then you have home court advantage.
now, was it NHL or was it NBA? Like probably a handful of years back, where the first round was 5 games, or was that MLB?
think
That's probably
that's
MLB.
MLB.
But anyway,
Yeah, we only has like one wild card game.
And then
yeah.
they have a 5-game
Yeah,
series.
but I mean, so West, I would say the Nuggets or Houston Rockets wins it. If Golden State in it. East, I would probably say the Celtics. I would say the Celtics.
Can
I
I
don't know.
say something though? How in the world did did the Thunder not win a championship when they had Durant?
They were playing the Big Three in South Beach.
Yeah.
Yeah, then that's like when they were all in their primes.
Those guys were young.
Those, yeah, they were youngins, man. But it's crazy to see.
But that
Harden-
was
Harden
another
wasn't
big
Harden.
three.
No,
Harden
yeah.
wasn't allowed to be Harden. Let's say
No,
that.
yeah, he
That's
was stuck
true.
on the bench. He was
Let me-
6 man.
Let me take a moment real quick to talk about my nominee because I never did. Gabriel Landeskog.
I mean,
We're supposed to vote here in a second, so
let's just skip past that. We'll just go.
well, man, you never skip past Gabriel Landeskog.
Well, no. I'm not saying skip. We'll skip past the timer thing, and we'll just
Oh yeah,
we'll talk about it. Since neither you or Tran talked about your MVP,
Yeah,
let's just
so-
do it.
Go ahead.
now's a good time as ever. Gabriel Landeskog, he's my fiance's boyfriend.
Nice.
And
Incredible.
here's the thing. He's literally exactly 2 weeks older than me. And he's been a captain for like 7 years already.
Yeah,
He's a
did it
veteran.
since college. Like since
No.
we were in college, you were like, "Holy crap, this kid is our age. He's good." He was just named the captain. He was just named the captain.
Before Connor McDavid, he was the youngest captain in NHL history.
Okay.
So this dude has been in that role, but as we go further and further into his tenure as captain, he's really come into that role as of late. He seems to have struck the silly penalties from his play style. He was always the guy who made like a very emotional mistake. He would
Happens, you're young.
yeah, and that was like I said, he was young, the youngest captain at the time. But that seems to have fallen out of his game, and he lives in front of the net, and he's harnessed this ability to deflect the puck in front of the net. That really wasn't a part of his game up until just this season. And I think he said it best. They interviewed him, and they asked him why he made that a part of his game and why he's been working on it so much. And he said, I noticed that there's a lot of 30, 35, 40 goal scorers that aren't really shooters. And I went and I looked and saw, like, you know, these Pavelskis and the Marchands and how they were getting their goals. And it wasn't from, you know, incredibly skilled players. It was from a lot of deflection goals and a lot of rebound goals out in the slot.
Nitty gritty.
So that's what he's brought. I mean, he's big-bodied. So he's my nominee because...
And how hard is that to practice?
Yeah, exactly.
Those deflections.
He's
Yeah.
my nominee because he had every reason to fall and to do a Matt Duchene. And,
Bust.
yeah, and do a Matt Duchene and ask for a trade when they were going through the worst season ever.
Pretty nice little.
So, why don't you talk about Max Holloway then?
Max Blessed Holloway, 27 years old, dude. 27 years old. Currently holds a 12-fight win streak. Like I said, he was the welterweight champ right now. Tonight he's going to be fighting Dustin Poirier for the interim lightweight championship.
Is he from the U.S.? Do you know?
Hawaii, yeah. So.
Is that
Hawaii?
considered the U.S. now?
It's always
The way it's the UFC, dude, Hawaii is its own little continent because
Hawaii considers itself its own little continent,
which is great.
part of the U.S.
It's perfect because
technically American.
He fits it.
Yeah,
He-
Hawaii is
much
part of the
different.
U.S. the same way that the Native Americans were a part of the U.S. Just saying.
Yeah.
That's pretty much exactly what happened.
But Hawaiian background. He
strong.
shows so much pride. He's a really humble
That's
champ. He lets his fighting do the talking. He'll talk a little shit pregame and like post, like not so much post fight, but currently holds a 20-3 record. This record that he holds right now is pretty insane. His last fight against Brian Ortega, he broke the record for most significant strikes in one fight. I'm gonna have you guys try to guess what the number was. In one fight, it was a 5-round fight, 5 minutes each round. Significant strikes is essentially
145.
Extension 145. Okay, that's good.
In a match?
In one fight.
I
Yeah.
just called it a match.
Hey, I like it. Yeah, a fighting match.
In a
I
duel.
would say,
145.
That's my guess.
Okay.
is it higher or lower than
I'm not
that?
gonna say just say a number.
I'm going to say 160.
All right, both of you guys are wrong. It was 290.
Wow.
He had 134 significant strikes in one round.
Yeah, that's what I meant. 145 in one
Getting
round.
hit significantly, 150.
That's exactly. I was just gonna ask you. I was like, "Yo, after this, come hit me in the parking lot 134 times. Now let me see what happens."
Jesus.
But
Is that more of a testament to the dudes he's beating the shit out of?
Brian Ortega had a chin. They had to call like he wanted to fight the fifth. He didn't even fight the fifth round, so that was 4
Oh, yeah,
rounds.
that. Oh
Yeah.
my
So he
God.
was like, bring it on, I'm ready for
his
150
eye was swollen
more.
shut, and his hand was broken or something.
See, that's
and
my
it's just
kind of homie. There's the winner.
And Max Holloway called the fight beforehand. He looked over at Joe Rogan. He's like, "It's gonna end right now." Finishes the 4th round, and that's when they throw in
So
the
he
top.
fights tonight?
Fights tonight against Dustin Poirier.
So you're telling me.
Well, you're coming over to my house or what?
That's the thing. I don't
I'll
know.
have the fights
I
on.
want to watch the Avs, but I equally want to watch the fights and the Nuggets as well.
I can have all 3 running.
Hey, you guys remember that bet that Adel made earlier?
I will never ever watch a playoff game.
Well, we'll put that one in the other room. We'll put that one in the
No,
other
yeah,
room.
I mean, I for sure want to. This is a great night for sports in general and
Let's
mixed
watch all
martial
3,
arts.
baby.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be a fun night. If obviously you're a Colorado fan of either the Avs or the Nuggets or both, it's gonna be a fantastic night. But going back to Max Holloway, I'm hoping that he does beat Dustin Poirier. It's gonna be an incredible fight. My prediction for that one is a 3rd round TKO for Max Holloway. The dude's just relentless. The dude's absolutely
What's the other
relentless.
dude's style? Is he a
Uh,
jiu-jitsu kind of guy? Or?
No, he's a brawler too. It's gonna be a slugfest. And Dustin
in.
Poirier is another one. It's like he's
I'm
such
in.
a humbled guy, but at the weigh-ins yesterday, he's like, "I'm gonna rewrite history. I'm gonna knock this motherfucker out." I was like, 1, you don't talk about my boy, and 2, watch yourself because it's
All right.
Max Holloway. But
All right, so,
So
let's...
he's 20-3.
he's 20-3.
Guess who's undefeated? Katie Bowman.
Oh,
The black hole.
The black hole.
I was going to say,
I mean-
let's make our choice of MVP.
I would say black
unanimously.
hole since I can't vote for Holloway. I would say 1, 2,
Here's
and
the
3.
thing: as much as I love Gabriel Landeskog, if he doesn't win a cup, I mean, he certainly won't be as remembered as the woman who took the first picture of the black hole.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? So,
Sorry, I made it unfair.
he did. You went like monumentous. It's like, oh, my nominee fucking invented bread. Like, thanks, bro.
See what you guys are breathing in right now?
So-
My nominee.
Congratulations to Katie Bowman, the first winner of 20-something.
Inaugural 20-something podcast.
We'll tag you from our 20-something
And
podcast
Daniel.
Twitter.
Dude, she probably doesn't even have Twitter, let's be real.
Nerd.
I mean,
And
she's
also-
probably so busy grinding out, taking more pictures of black holes.
If you
media.
do decide to listen, Katie, don't.
Skip over this part. No, that's pretty phenomenal stuff. This was a good week. Overall, kind of wrapping things up, this was a very good podcast. I think we will find things that we need to fine tune.
Oh yeah, for
Um,
sure. Stay patient with us.
Yeah,
You know.
And
absolutely.
if you listen to the whole thing, give us some suggestions.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We have a
different
long list of
suggestions.
topics, and we know nothing's, we're not going to not talk about anything if we can help it, if there's a few topics out
We
there.
will not talk about like Voldemort.
Oh yeah, for sure. But no, this was extremely fun. I hope our predictions go through. Obviously, you're going to be listening to this Sunday, so some games are happening tonight, Saturday. But
Let's go back around and tell them what our names are, because I feel like we never really did that.
absolutely, host, the one with the beautiful voice. I'm Trent. To my left, go ahead.
My name is Adrian Hernandez. If you were looking for a beautiful radio voice, you have found one.
That's phenomenal. Daniel Gibbons. You can call me Dan, whatever you choose. I really don't care.
Never called him Dan before.
Danny boy.
Danny boy. I have a million nicknames, but here we are.
We are the 20-something podcast. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for sticking around, and
You beautiful people have a great day.
suck a fat one.